Aiden and Maya planned to only have one drink because they had a mission. Before heading to bed, they were going to tell everyone they wanted to take a stroll in the garden, but that was just a cover. The truth was they were planning to roam through the Red Moon pack house so they could eavesdrop on conversations amongst Omegas. At Damon's request, they were trying to find dirt for Damon to use as a reason not to make Marcy his Luna. Meanwhile, Damon's wolf was restless. It yearned to track down the sweet, citrusy scent of freesia he'd smelled earlier, the scent of his mate. He was desperate to inhale it once again. Damon tried to suppress his wolf's urge by convincing himself it was futile. But the longer Damon sat there, the less he could take it. Suddenly, Damon stood up. This startled everyone, and they stopped talking to look at him.
"I will retire for the night,"
Damon said curtly. Everyone exchanged confused glances. Even Caden and Maya were puzzled. Damon never acted like this, especially when he was a guest of another pack. Damon clocked everyone's reaction, but brushed it off. Before leaving the room, he formally addressed Alpha Edward.
"I hope that after breakfast we can continue our discussion from this afternoon."
Without waiting for Alpha Edward to respond, Damon retired to his room. Once alone in his room, Damon opened the window and inhaled deeply, trying to calm the storm inside him.
"Damn it, what's wrong with me?"
he muttered to himself.
"You know what's wrong. Why are you resisting? You can't win this,"
his wolf responded, taunting him. Damon rubbed his face in frustration. He knew that his wolf was desperate to find the silver-haired girl with the freesia scent, but Damon had no intention of succumbing to this temptation. Damon had always been stubborn and had a need to be in control. He hated being manipulated, especially by his own nature. He would not give in.
"May I come in?"
said a sultry voice, piercing through his thoughts. Damon swiftly turned toward the door to see Marcy peeking in. He wondered if she bothered to knock, but even if she did, he probably wouldn't have noticed. He'd never been so distracted, and Marcy's presence only irritated him more. What if she was an enemy? Damon would be a sitting duck. He was beginning to resent that silver-haired girl. Her scent was the reason he was so distracted, and it made him feel weak. For Damon, this only proved that the silver-haired girl was dangerous, and he should stay away from her. No matter how tedious it felt to fight against his urges, pushing her away was the only way to maintain his safety.
"Why are you here?"
Damon replied coldly to Marcy. Marcy ignored his tone and entered. She walked toward Damon, stopping when she was one step away from him.
"You look tense."
Marcy said softly while putting her palms on Damon's firm chest.
"I can help you relax."
Damon's lips lifted into a half smirk, challenging her.
"And how would you do that?"
Marcy licked her lips while remembering the velvety texture of him in her mouth. She wanted to caress him with her tongue again.
"I know that nothing is confirmed, but technically we are engaged,"
she said while slowly tracing her fingers down the fitted shirt that clung to his chiseled abs. Damon observed her fingers as they inched closer to his belt. On her right middle finger, he eyed a large ring. It had an oval-shaped ruby with small diamonds surrounding it. The luxuriousness of it seemed fitting for the Redmayne family. They liked to flaunt their wealth. Damon took in Marcy's almond-shaped blue eyes, straight nose, and full lips. Objectively, she was attractive. Physically, she was the kind of woman he would normally take to bed in an instant. But Marcy didn't stir him the way the silver-haired girl scent did earlier. Maybe his wolf was right and that girl really was his mate. Damon immediately pushed away the thought, not willing to admit some random girl's scent could control him that much. He wondered if he gave in to his more carnal instincts, he would no longer be distracted by thoughts of the silver-haired girl.
Don't do anything you'll regret,
his wolf growled in response.
Stay out of this,
Damon snapped back internally. His wolf snorted.
You will regret this.
And then he retreated to the back of Damon's mind. Damon still felt his wolf's anger and dejection, but he decided to ignore it. Unaware of the internal dialogue Damon had with his wolf, Marcy inched closer to Damon, smiling seductively. I can. Before Marcy could finish her sentence, Damon's hand grabbed the back of her head to pull her closer for a kiss. His tongue plundered her mouth mercilessly, asserting his dominance as a man, as an alpha. Marcy had never been kissed so hard, and boy did she like it. The kissing became rough and charged as they tumbled toward the bed. They sank in the mattress with Damon taking control on top. Marcy pulled away for a moment to gasp for air before Damon quickly sealed her lips again with his. His touch was aggressive, driven by need and anger rather than passion. Damon vented his frustration as he searched for a way to release the tension that suffocated him, and the scent of Marcy's arousal hit him hard. Marcy's mind spun in a tizzy. She felt his hand work up her thigh with urgency, all the way to her hip where he found the edge of her panties, and she jolted when he ripped them in one swift move. Damon's hand moved toward the cradle of her thighs, and she moaned into his mouth. Suddenly, Marcy's eyes shot open in panic. As much as she wanted to continue, she knew giving in fully to Damon's desires would mean she'd no longer be in control of the situation. If she wanted to seal the deal and become Damon's Luna, she needed all the leverage she could get. Marcy grabbed his hand and yanked it away. Not before. I at least need to know we're going in the right direction, she stammered, nervous how he might react. Damon growled in frustration. He desperately needed a release to get his mind off the silver-haired girl, and Marcy was ruining it. She was the one who came on to him, but now she's listing conditions? What kind of game was she playing? He pushed himself off the bed and ran a hand through his hair, glaring. Get out, he seethed. Marcy shook her head, confused. We can do other stuff.
Get out,
Damon commanded, cutting her off. There was no mistaking the threat in Damon's voice. Looking into Damon's eyes, Marcy sensed his power and violence. She was certain Damon would kill her if she didn't obey his command that instant. Marcy scrambled off the bed and dashed out, slamming the door shut behind her. Damon returned to the open window and leaned over the windowsill. He looked at the crescent moon and exhaled in frustration. "Is this what you planned for me?" Damon muttered bitterly to the moon goddess, even though he knew she wouldn't respond. She never responded when he spoke to her. People always said the moon goddess had a plan for everyone, that everything had a purpose. But Damon doubted it more and more over the years. After all, what was the point of his parents suffering a senseless death? What was the point of being the alpha of the largest pack when no one appreciated his efforts and he was constantly being manipulated? What was the point in making him so strong when he was still bound by all these arbitrary rules? What was the point of giving him a mate that would only serve as a distraction? Damon didn't want any of it. If he had one wish, he would want to become a nobody, invisible, someone who could move without being noticed or coveted. He would live a modest life and do whatever he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it. The way his life was now felt like the moon goddess was set on torturing him. Damon often had these wishes to be free and escape from his responsibilities, but deep down he knew he could never abandon his pack. His duty to care for the Dark Howlers pack was ingrained in him from an early age. Tens of thousands of people looked up to him, their alpha. They relied on him to keep them safe and lead them to a better future. And that's what Damon swore to do. Damon needed to talk to the one person who understood what he was going through. "Hey, can we talk?" Damon spoke to his wolf. But his wolf never responded. Damon could feel his wolf sulking in disapproval of Damon's interaction with Marcy. Even though things didn't get very far, his wolf knew that if Marcy didn't stop Damon, he would have gone past the point of no return. Frustrated by his wolf's silence, Damon threw his arms up.
Fine, stay quiet,
he snapped. Damon was now left alone to deal with his anger, guilt, and emptiness by himself. The weight of it all was almost unbearable.
You are mine.
Always.